Yeah, hi Bharat. Good afternoon.
Take care, right? But because of that, to reducing burden of developer, right? We are moving to what JDBC, sorry, Spring technology. Using a Spring technology, Spring people given what JDBC template class, right? Using JDBC template class, what we are doing, Spring framework is saying that half of responsibility I am taking. Just you have to write the query and you have to perform the result. That's it. These two operation you have to take care. Means programmer will take care, right? Means writing the SQL query and reading and printing the result, right? And loading the driver, creating the connection, and preparing the statement. After then executing and iterating the result and closing the connection. This responsibility is taken care by whom? Spring framework, right? After then we started, right? So to reduce means only one time you have to configure, right? What is that loading the driver, creating the connection, these operations. For that, data source interface is given by Spring people. Its implementation classes like driver manager data source Spring this driver manager data source is for that Spring framework, right? Spring framework people is given this implementation class. But if you want third party like DBCP, then you have to put in your form.xml that dependency. Then you will get what basic data source, right? Basic data source implementation class you can give to data source, right? Data source interface. After then we understand what is that layered, what is how in the project layer, DEO layer. In which layer we are using this JDBC template in DAO layer. DAO layer will interact. Service layer controller we will learn in the MBC application. But here just we are performing in the what DAO layer operation, right? DAO layer operation. After then we understand just how normally how we are writing in the classes, and we are treating that class as a bean, right? Same like after then we have need to configure that bean inside what application configuration. So here we wrote it, right? After then what we did here we designed that, right? We design one ER diagram using UML diagram with this is called ER diagram also. Based on that, we started to development, right? Till now we completed all setups and configuration dependency, whatever we have need. Yesterday we completed those things. Even we perform using in the JDBC template, right? Execute method is there. Execute method is there. Based on the execute method, yesterday we created one table also, right? So don't worry about that. Today again we will perform from here to means execute query till execute query. Today practical we will start. After then I given one analysis. Think about that. This is our database. In that we have need to what student table, right? Student table. For that execute method we will take, right? Inside that all DDL operation we can able to perform, right? After then update is there. Update using update method. This is the argumented means two argumented, three argumented, multiple argumented means overloaded update method. This method is in Spring JDBC template. Overloaded method is there. This is the overloaded method. After then we understood query for map. After then query for list. This annotation we understood, right? After then today I will explain callback interface also, right? Callback interface. Today I will explain callback interface. In that I will tell what is that customize, how we can customize, right? Today I will explain callback and interface also. But first let's understand these things, right? Let's understand this what is that these methods. Okay now, after then we will perform like how we created this table. How we created this table. Based on this table we will perform the operations, right? After then we will see all those things. Yesterday till now we covered, right? But what I'm going to do, just whatever again I will delete. Setup I will not delete. But this is our project. Yesterday we created the project, but in that what we did, we just created this table, right? So what I'm doing, that I'm dropping this table in the Oracle database. I'm going to drop this table, right? And friends, please do the practical, right? Without practical, wonder will not happen. Okay na? So please do the practical, right? This is the very good place. Even, yeah, today morning one person, keep on that day we removed one person, right? So that person keep on messaging me. He's from US, and he's saying that, "Ki, Ravikant, please encourage your student, we will give paid things." I said that if I need, right, I can also, but I don't want to bluff the people, right? Whoever people is believing on me, and just I will hold their hand. How much I can help them, I will help them. Okay, and no need money, enough. Whatever I'm earning the money, enough. I'm earning the money from my company also. One of my friend companies there in my state, right? There just I'm giving the suggestion, for that he is giving the money also. So what is the use of, right? Unnecessary money also not good for life, in my point of view. Okay, now how much I have need, I'm earning the money, it's not. But when you people will become success, right? When you people will become success, right, on that day, you will, in the karma will follow every time, friends, right? In my life, okay na, seen that karma, and I'm believing the karma also. Okay na? So that's it. I don't want anything, and even I can't, if I know that na, if any person want to go with ourselves only, because everyone is a mature only, right? So they will go, but I can't give you people in the wrong hand, right? Wrong hand, I never suggest also, and I never give you in the wrong hand, right? If anybody want to go, because everybody know that, right? Everybody know that good institution, good people, who is the teaching good, who is the teaching bad, what is the use? So some people is showing our talent and all those things, they don't know. I completed everything, after then I become good person. See, he's, I don't know, I'm thinking because of his chatting, I'm thinking he's too much innocent person. Because of that, it's not meaning that the person went inside the US and he became mature. Means he is not there in the India, and if any person is left, means he is some thopu, nothing, yeah. Everybody is the same only, right? Just I know that. I'm handling the project, right? Which project in my team? Total 20 member is there. In the 20 member, 10 member they are from the US only. I know that what is the capacity and all those things. Just hard work is required. It's not meaning that everybody is same only. But some people are there. He just say morning 6 o'clock, right? Just that is my morning walk time. At the time, I keep on, on my messenger. He's messaging me, Ravikant, why you don't want these things? I said that I don't want, just I don't want. That's it. The people is giving much opportunity. One of Bangalore, in the Bangalore, I don't know how he know that. He also saying that, Ravikant, please teach with us. We will provide you good amount of money. I said no. I don't want, right? I don't want these things. Okay, now whatever skills I have, I will just share with my people. They will take, if anybody want to take help, they people take, and they will build our careers, right? That's it. Because I seen, yeah, when I was struggling, right? When I was struggling in my life and all those things, at that time I was realized that. Okay, now. So everybody is here mature only, right? The people can select the institution, friends, and all those things. But in my level, okay, na, I never give you people in the wrong hand. That's it. And even there is no, I don't have any. I'm doing selfless things, okay, na, with you people, okay. So that's it. And even it's not meaning that any game I'm playing with you in the future, something, nothing. My soul is totally clean and good and clean about you people. That's it. Okay, let it be. So okay, yeah, yesterday we learned these things, okay na, yesterday we learned these things. Yeah. So this is so yesterday we completed these diagrams, right? Yesterday we completed, but I'm going to delete it. Okay, now whatever code for that, right? Here I'm going to drop this table, right? So how we will drop it? How we will drop it? Just drop table. Hey, 1 minute, 1 minute, 1 minute. Come here in the. Yes, yes. Why we will do this from the direct? I don't want direct, right? Just let's drop the table. Just drop the table using our Java application, right? So because this execute method, anybody opened our own what video? Please close it, right? Huh. Because disturbance will happen, right? Someone is 1 minute. I will see that. Okay, this is the execute method, right? I yesterday what we done. Okay, this is our application. In that we achieve what modularity. In that what we completed. Come here, see that. Yeah, in that just we taken one what is the query. Based on this query we created what we created in we created what no, I don't want this. I want again to give practical. Let's drop the table here only, right? Let's drop the table here only. Now drop table, right? Drop table, student, student. Okay, I dropped that table. Let's student, right? There is no table inside our database, right? Inside our database. So what I'm doing that just again I'm deleting this query and all those things because I don't want to make confused. Okay, na? Again, come here in it's in implementation class. It's implementation class, right? It's implementation class interface, right? Here also I'm deleting this method. Okay, now again we will prepare it, right? Again we will prepare it, and we will see that because yesterday at the last time just I given one using one method, I given one analysis, right? But my intention was yesterday just creating the project and implementing all dependency to putting all dependency in the pom.xml and creating the project environment yesterday. This is that is just my intention was is there, right? I'm deleting here this code also. Okay, so okay, now every code its implementation class something is there. Yes, fine. Okay, yeah, okay. So what we will do now, our intent using this execute method, right? Using this execute method, sorry, yeah, execute method. What we will do inside that, this think about this. This is our Oracle database, right? This is our Oracle database. Means this is our Oracle database. In this time, there is no student table inside that. What inside that? What Oracle database, right? Just I'm cleaning the screen, right? CLSCR, right? See, CLSCR, right? CLSCR. Okay, fine. There is no table in the database, right? In the database, there is no table. Then what we will do now? Okay, so you want to see that the table is there or not? Okay, so what we will do now? DESC See, there is no table, right? What the our SQL Oracle server is saying that object student does not exist, means there is no table. So I want to create our project, means our Java application create what table, right? Create what table in what Oracle database. Where in the Oracle database? Think about that image. I give an image, right? This is the Oracle database. Think about that, this is Oracle database, but still there is no student table. So I want to create first what student table. Who will create? Our application, right? Our Java application will create what? Using query, right? Using query means we have to concentrate on creating, right? Means writing SQL query, setting data to SQL query. After then what is that? Whatever after then what operation will perform in database? It returns something like result, right? We have need to see these things. Okay, na? So let's do this. Okay, na? So what we will do now, we will go inside its implementation class and we will prepare the query, right? First we will prepare the query, right? Because we are performing using what, Jdbc template, right? In ORM we don't have need to prepare the query, but what we will do now, okay, now private static private private static final string, right? String. Now what is that? Create, just I'm taking what is that, create underscore student, right? Now we will write here only, right? We will write here query, right? Query, we will write it. Okay, now what is the query? To create the student table inside the Oracle database. For that query is there, create student right? Create table students, right? Student. Now in the open, in this bracket what we will write now, SNO, right? SNO number, right? After then what is that, uh, uh, come here, right? In the table what we draw, right? Serial number, after then student name, after then s mark, right? So okay, come here now, SNO, s name, varchar, right? Varchar 2. This is the what I'm taking, what is that, I'm taking what is that, 20, right? 20. Now after then what is that, marks, right? Marks we will take as a float, right? Float data type. So what is that, s marks, right? Now float, right? Float. Okay, I taken what, float data type. After then our query is prepared, means we wrote the query, means what yesterday I was explained, come here, means these operation will take care by whom, Spring framework. But what operation we have need to take care, writing the SQL query, means what we did here, we wrote the SQL query, right? One operation we completed. What is the developer responsibility whenever we will work using JDBC template? Developer responsibility, writing the SQL query and setting the data to SQL query, right? But here what is that, we are not setting using what, placeholder. I will explain that one also, when the need, okay na? So what we did here, we wrote what, SQL query. Now okay, after then writing the SQL query, what we will do now, we have need to perform the operation, right? Means setting the data and reading and printing the result, okay na? So now okay, we wrote it, means this is just we completed what, this is just we completed what, SQL query. But come to interface, its implementation classes, right? Because DAO layer having what, interface also, its implementation class. Come to here in the diagram, right? What is that, in the UML diagram? Okay, come here. So what is that, student having what, its implementation class we take in, right? So inside that we will decide based on that, what is that, in the JDBC template, execute method is there. Execute, okay, execute method is there, but what is the return type of this execute method? Void, right? What is the return type of this execute method? Void. Okay, so based on the void we will write it's in the interface one method, right? What is that, public void, right? Sorry, public void. Okay, we wrote it, right? So what is that, create student table, right? Table, this is what our method, this is what, table, right? This is our what, method, right? See, naming convention I'm following also, right? Method name must be camel case, but first letter, if long letter is there, first letter is small letter, right? So after then, means this is non-argumented method, we decided this method, right? Its method return type is what, void. Why I taken the void only? Because this method, what is the to perform DDL operation, in the JDBC template, this execute method return type is void only. So it will not return anything, right? It will not return anything. Because of that, our own method also, whatever method we wrote inside our interface, that method is void only, right? So now, okay. So what is that? It's implementation class. If we want to write the logic, where we will write, because in the interface we can't create the object and we can't give the logics also, right? So where we will go? Inside its implementation class. So where what is the its implementation class? Student DAO IMPL. Come here, right? What is the its implementation class? Student DAO IMPL. Okay na? So okay, fine. So now, okay, so what we will do now? So we will override that superclass method, right? Superclass abstract method inside that what? Implementation class. Why we are writing its implementation class? Its implementation class, that why we are overriding that method in its implementation class? Because in interface we can't write the method, right? Because in interface, interviewer question, friends, in interface we can't write means concrete method, right? So where we will write the concrete method? That interface implementation class, right? That interface implementation class we can write the logic. So what we will do now? We will override that method. How we will override? I'm giving the shortcut, right? alt alt no, yes, alt control, no, sorry, 1 minute. Yeah, alt shift, s, after then v button. If we click in the keyboard, right? Now that method will come in the its implementation class. See that method is came or not? Okay. So okay, now fine. So what we will do now? We will but the execute method, where this execute method is there? Inside that what? JDBC template, right? So we already auto wired that JDBC template yesterday, right? So how we will write here? Now we will write jt dot execute, right? Execute, just we will write it execute method. See, this method is came, right? This method is came. Okay, so what we will do now? Here we will pass this, what is that? Query, right? Query, where we will pass this execute method argument, right? So we know that this method will not return anything. Okay, fine. So this method will not return anything. Okay, so all logic, whatever need we have, need to write the logic to create the table in what database we wrote it, right? We wrote in the this method. So okay, let's test it and we will see that QI, yeah, our application is working perfectly or not. Okay, so what we will do now? We will go inside what? Our test class, right? We will go inside our what? Test class. See, this is, I wrote yesterday just test class only, right? Okay, yeah, this is our test class. Okay na? So if we want to activate our IOC container, which interface we have need, and what is the its implementation class we have need? In the core module I explained already, right? Those things. So let's, what is that? Let's we take it, right? Application context, right? Application context interface. Application context interface, AC equal to, what is that? New annotation context application config. So now context annotation config application context, right? Its implementation class. Based on this one, what we will do now? We will activate, what is that? We will activate our IOC container. But our IOC container, how many input need? Two input need, one bean and another one is what? Configuration, right? That bean configuration, right? So what we will do now? We will pass, because already driver manager data source and JDBC template, these beans we wrote inside this configuration, right? So what we will do now? We will pass it, friend. After 10 minutes this meeting will end. Don't go, right? Come back again. Okay, so now application, right? Application config, right? Dot, what is that? Class. Okay, we passed it here. Okay now, after passing that, what we will do now? AC dot, what is that? Get bean, right? Inside that I said that if we just one annotation, what is that? Stereotype annotation also I was explained, right? Stereotype annotation, right? These annotation inside that, these auto wire and component scan, these are not stereotype annotation, but what is that? Controller, service, component, rest controller, and a repository, these are what? These are what? Stereotype annotation, where in which layer we will apply this annotation, right? Those annotation will, our IOC container will treat based on the modularity, right? It means this is the, this model, this one is the, this model, based on that, what is that? We will achieve the modularity, and we will means automatically our IOC container will create that class object, right? So we use what? One stereotype annotation, right? Right, repository, where we used in the DAO layer, right? In the DAO layer. But here, see, in the top of class, this one, right? I use this repository annotation, but I said that if we don't want, right, our IOC container name, so we will apply just here that name, something. If we write it, then it will become, what is that? Reference, this student DAO IMPL object reference name, okay na? So but I don't want, if we don't apply this one, right? So this class name will become object reference name, but first letter will become, what is that? Small letter, right? So what we will do now, after then, so we will come here, right? Inside that, we know that we don't know how to create bus object, right? So where we are going, that bus factory, same like we don't know, I don't know how to create, what is that? Bean object, right? Bean object means these are the bean only in the Spring terminology, means if we don't know how to create bean object, where we will go? Bean factory, means this method is, what is that? Bean factory method, right? So now, okay, inside that, what we will do now, we will pass that object reference name, right? Here, after passing that, the first letter is small, okay. So to avoid typecasting, what is that? What we will do now, that class we will uh, that class we will take here as a what? Dynamically, right? Student, sorry, student.impl, right? So to avoid typecasting, but it will return back, what is that? So we will hold why student DAO interface is there, because all method, whatever method we will write inside that student, right? So for that, to achieve, what is that? To achieve runtime polymorphism, means why I'm taking this reference, because today what? It's implementation class using, what is that? This, right? Tomorrow if we want to change other implementation class, right? So if we take this class name reference only, so we have need to modify every time here code, right? Every time we have need to modify code to, because of that, to avoiding this one, I'm taking reference of interface, right? Reference of interface, right? So what is that? Student DAO, right? Student DAO, okay, fine, fine. So till now the things is completed, right? Okay, till now the things is completed. So what we will do now next? Okay, so let's perform the operation and we will see. Come friends, see here, there is no DESC student, object student does not exist, right? Object student does not exist, means after still student object, means student table is not created. Okay, so how we will create now? DAO dot, what is the method we wrote, right? This method, right? Inside that, means whenever we will call this method, just sys out, right? Just sys out means table created, right? Table created, okay, table created. Just after then it will show the message, okay, if successful table created, then this message means this message we will get, otherwise exception, okay na? So now fine, so let's run this application, right? So whenever we will call this method, right? So at the time where our control will go inside student DAO IMPL, okay na? But this is what? Abstraction, right? Abstract method, but here there is no logic. So what is that? This is the overriding method also, right? Overriding method. Then what? At the runtime, where again control will go, it will search its implementation class. The method is there, yes, its implementation class, same method, same return type, and the same modifier is there, means this is called what? Overriding, right? Inside that overriding we wrote some logics, right? So based on that logic, the operation will happen and the table will create. Okay, na? So table will create. This is called what? Runtime polymorphism. Overloading is comes under what is that? Overloading. It comes under static polymorphism, and means compile time polymorphism, and overriding is comes under what is that? Runtime polymorphism, right? So now, okay, now let's run this one and we will see that key table is created or not. Okay, so now our application is running. Okay, so let's see that. Okay, table, we got the message, right? Table is created, right? Table is created, come in the database, right? Now DESC, see that. Oh, still something. Why then we get the message? Okay, okay, sorry, student, right? Students we taken, yes, students, students. Okay, see, table is created, right? Table is created, students table is created. Okay, now fine. So if you want to drop this table, right? No, I want to drop this table. Okay, so for that, what we will do now? So what query we will prepare? The query again come inside this implementation class, right? Come inside that implementation class, our application will drop it. So what query we will write? Private static final string, right? Drop table drop table, right? I'm dropping the table. After then, what query we will write here? Here we will write what is that? Drop students, right? So drop table student, drop table student, this is our query, right? So again, okay, what we will do now? Let's come inside its implementation class, right? So let's write one method. What is that? Public. This is internally, when I will explain the data jp spring boot data jp, it will helpful for you, right? Because of that I'm writing like this. Otherwise I can take only main method. Inside that main method I can perform this operation. Why I did like modularity? I taken multiple different packages. Okay, now if I taken, then when you people will deploy in the project, right? Then the problem will be there. Then problem you people will not understand. Because of that I taken multiple different packages and all those things. Okay, now public sorry public void drop student table, right? Okay, this is method. So what we will do now? This method, but it's implementation class, where we will write the logic in implementation class, right? Alt shift s plus v. Now, okay, this method, that method is came here, right? That method is came. So what we will do now again, right? jt, we will take the reference of what is that? Jt, right? Jt dot query, jt dot, sorry, not a query, execute query. I will explain, don't worry. Okay, na? So what we will do now? Drop table, right? Drop table, we will pass that query it here only in this argument. So come here, now come the test class, right? Let's comment it. Let's comment this one. Okay, I'm commenting this method calling. Okay, na? Here I'm writing that table is drop. Table is drop, right? So now what we will do now? Just dao, right? dao dot, what is that? Drop table, we will call that method, right? And run the application.